The market is shifting. The market is shifting.
Announces a February snap election and tax cuts.
JGB yields are spiking. This is serious.
In light of the current economic challenges, I am calling a snap election for February, accompanied by significant tax cuts.
The Bank of Japan has decided to maintain the current policy rate. We are holding rates steady. The US has secured total access to Greenland. This deal drops European tariffs, reshaping global trade. Tariffs on Europe are dropping. This changes everything. NATO is mobilizing in the skies. Sell America. The dollar is dropping. Adjusting sliders to transfer assets. Confirmed. Position secured.
ツマンおじ今日のニュースを読みます。Reuters Yen volatile as rate check speculation swirl. Dollar set for steep weekly drop. By Ankur Banerjee and Sophie Kidri. January 23rd, 2026. Summary: Yen volatile as market speculate about rate checks. Bank of Japan keeps rates steady. Dollar selling intact as Greenland saga rumbles on. Trump tout a total access Greenland deal with NATO. Singapore, London, January 23rd, Reuters. The yen suddenly strengthened on Friday, raising market speculation that authorities had conducted a rate check at the precursor in intervention, while the dollar was set for its steepest weekly decline since June as geopolitical tension unsettled investors. The yen was a fraction stronger on the day of 158.05 per dollar. It had weakened to as soft as 159.2 per dollar, close to 8-month lows. During a press conference by Bank of Japan Governor Kazuo Ueda after BOJ held rates steady, but then suddenly strengthened to 157.3 per dollar. Traders are alert to the prospect of intervention from Tokyo to stem the Japanese currency's slide, though the loose market consensus was authorities had not intervened directly but run rate checks with banks. I don't think it was intervention, because it doesn't match the pattern that we've been seeing when you have gone for it. Typically, we've got a very big move down in dollar yen, said Johannes Goldman, deputy chief market economist at Capital Economics. He was pointed to the possibility of a so-called rate check. A rate check asking what price it would get if it were to sell yen is something Japanese authorities can use to signal their readiness to enter the market. Japan's finance minister declines to comment. The yen has been under relentless pressure since the Sanae Takaichi took over as Japanese Prime Minister in October, dropping more than 4% on fiscal concern and hovering near levels that have spurred verbal warning and intervention fear. A bond market rise this week underscored investor nerves about Japan's fiscal position as Takaichi called the snap election for February and promised tax cuts, sending Japanese government bond yield to record high. They have recovered somewhat since then, but investors remain skittish. Dollar selling momentum. More broadly, The shifting geopolitical landscape has weighed on sentiment this week, as Trump said he had secured U.S. access to Greenland in a deal with NATO. That came as he backed off tariff threat against Europe and ruled out taking the autonomous territory of Denmark by force. The dollar has borne the brunt of investor angst in the currency market as U.S. assets were pummeled at the start of the week amid the intensifying geopolitical tension, which revived talks of sell American trade that emerged in the aftermath of Trump's sweeping Liberation Day levies last April. The dollar index, which measured the U.S. currency against 6 units, was last at 98.31, flat on the day. However, it was still headed for around 1% weekly decline. It's the steepest since June. The euro was last around 0.1% lower at $1.1740, but set for a 1.4% weekly gain, while the sterling was last at $1.35. Data released Friday showed the UK retail sales rose unexpectedly in December, but had little effect on the pound. Thierry Wiesman, global FX rates strategist at Mercury Group, said while Greenland deal solved an immediate problem of tariff and invasion, it doesn't solve the core issue of the seeming alienation of allies from one another. And that's not a good place to be if you want to preserve the US dollar's reserve currency status. 以上です。